Vasyl Lomachenko will be taking on Teofimo Lopez on October 17th. What is up, you guys? Fight Fiend Miggs here, coming at you with a new video. As always, thank you for taking the time to stop by and check it out. If you're here for the first time, welcome to my channel. If you're coming back, welcome back, and thank you for coming back. So, today, guys, we're going to talk about the recent announcement, the unofficial, official, or officially unofficial announcement that Vasyl Lomachenko will be taking on Teofimo Lopez on October 17th. So that's kind of a big deal. There has been some the negotiations for this fight have been kind of like on rocky grounds, and the fact that they were able to get to a conclusion, to an agreement, I should say, is kind of a big deal for boxing fans because it's a major fight, and the fact that it's going to happen before the end of the year is kind of a big deal. So let's talk about it. Oh, before I get to that though, guys, make sure to stick around for the end of the video because I'm going to be going over this weekend's fight schedule because there's a lot of fights this weekend. So stay tuned for that. All right. So it has been announced, all right, sort of, kind of, by a lot of these media outlets that Teofimo Lopez has finally come to an agreement and will be fighting Vasyl Lomachenko October 17th. I've even read that it may even be October 24th, but most of the media outlets are reporting the 17th, so I feel pretty confident in saying that it's going to be the 17th. It will not be at Raiders Stadium or Allegiant Stadium as Bob Arum wanted the fight originally. They were trying to get fans into the arena or into the stadium, a couple of thousand fans kind of spread out as much as possible. And, so there will be some sort of live gate. That's not going to happen. They're going to have it at the MGM Grand, which is that the bubble, they call it, which is that conference center where they're having all of ESPN and Top Ranks boxing. So there'll be no fans, and it will not be on pay-per-view. It's going to be on regular ESPN, which is pretty big. Which is a pretty big deal. I really agree with that one in particular. The fact that it's not going to be on pay-per-view because right now we're still going through the pandemic. It's not over yet, and there's people that aren't working that you don't rather not have them fork up cash for a boxing fight. So if it's free, by all means, that works. I would love that. That sounds way the fuck better than fucking pay per view. That's a pretty big deal. There was some initial pushback from Teofimo Lopez's team and himself, I should say. He was initially offered $1.2 million, which he decided to kind of negotiate on. He wasn't really having it. I feel like this fight was for a while was on shaky grounds because of Teofimo Lopez not wanting to have my laptop here to my right, but Teofimo Lopez not wanting that $1.2 million. We all know the ongoing negotiations or issues with Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. We're not sure if that fight's going to happen. Supposedly it's a done deal, but nothing's been made official yet, or at least officially announced. Canelo Alvarez is not going to be fighting in September. We have a month before, Mexican Independence Weekend, which is middle of September. That's not going to happen, obviously, right? So we have all these fights that are kind of falling through because of money. Finally, this one actually happened. As a fan, I know that I always want boxers and professional fighters, and MMA fighters as well, to get as much money as they possibly can. It's a short career. Sometimes you can get it to go pretty long, but you're going to come out of your career hurt, because it is very physically taxing. Some of these guys end up slurring their words after their fucking career is done. So I always want these guys to make as much money as they possibly can. But right now these are unusual circumstances, right? They're unprecedented circumstances, and as a fan, I'm probably asking for too much, and just asking these fighters to basically just bite the bullet this one time and just take the fucking pay cut and make the fights happen. We got Leo Santa Cruz and Gervonta Davis, and we have Errol Spence and Danny Garcia. Those are fights that are going to happen, and I'm looking forward to those fights happening. I don't know what their payday is like or what their purse, but I mean, just take the fucking money and fight, please, guys, for the sake of all these fans. I know they're not necessarily fighting for us. They're fighting for their families. They're fighting for their paychecks. So I get why some of these guys don't want to fight. This fight, I was a little concerned because Teofimo Lopez did mention, actually, I think it was last year, hinted at going to 140. If this fight wouldn't have happened this year, I suspect that it wasn't going to happen at all. I kind of felt like he was just going to move up to 140 and fucking leave Vasyl Lomachenko in the past. Thankfully, they came to an agreement, and it's going to happen October 17th. He was initially Teofimo was initially offered $1.2 million. From what I've read, he was able to get to agree to or accept $1.5 million for the fight. So he was able to negotiate to that amount. As a matter of fact, after it's all said and done, there's a chance he may end up with two by the end of the night. So good for him. He went ahead and negotiated and got himself a little bit extra. Well, probably a lot of bit extra, which is cool. The fight happened. He balked at the initial purse and negotiated, and then got himself more. I hope some of these other fighters, uh, I don't know. I don't want them to take pay cuts, but right now everybody's taking a pay cut, so just fucking accept it, please. Um, this is one of the most important fights in the lightweight division right now, and I'm so excited that the fact that it actually went through it and they came to an agreement, because of so many fights that are in jeopardy because of money. It's making, I mean, it's really making MMA and the UFC look fucking great. Let's be honest. We just saw Stipe Miocic fight Daniel Cormier for the UFC Heavyweight Championship, and that's a pretty big fight. We're gonna have Israel Adesanya take on Paulo Costa for the UFC Middleweight Championship. We're gonna have Khabib Nurmagomedov taking on Justin Gaethje for the Lightweight Championship, and then Davison Figueiredo taking on Cody Garbrandt for the Flyweight Championship. All of those major fights in the UFC, those are pretty big for, like, they're important fucking fights. All of them are gonna happen before the year is even up. Like, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. All of them badass fucking fights are gonna happen with no fucking crowd. And I get it. Mixed martial artists and MMA fighters and UFC fighters get paid peanuts compared to boxers, so they're kind of already used to fighting for fucking peanuts. So they're gonna, that extra, crowd or whatever gate isn't really that much to them because they're already getting paid peanuts. And it's a different story for boxers. I get that, but again, this pandemic is not going to go away anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? The next, usually Canelo fights what, in May and September, right? He's not going to fight in September. Is he going to fight in May? Is this pandemic going to be over come May? Probably not. That's like 9 months away. This is the new norm. This is the new norm until we at least have another, fuck. I mean, I know this might be kind of pessimistic, but we have another year at least of this fucking, this pandemic. So I'm happy that Teofimo got himself a little bit more extra money. The fight is made, if I'm not mistaken. I think I was pulling it up here on my laptop, but I want to say Lomachenko is gonna make about three. I think, but no, hold on. He's gonna make, yeah, I want to say he's gonna make about like $3 million, a little over $3 million. I forgot the specific purse, but of course he is the A side, so bam. So yeah, we're gonna have ourselves a lightweight unification. What is it? I'm trying to think of what belts fucking Lomachenko has. WBA. I'm pretty sure. I think we're at WBA and WBC franchise, WBO in the Ring Magazine, and then Teofimo has the IBF Championship. So I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be in the bubble, no fans. It's not gonna be on pay-per-view. I'm good with that, and that's kind of a big deal. I don't want to go into too much detail as to who I think is going to win, because I will eventually, release another video or post another video with my prediction. We still got let's see here. We're August, 2 months. We still got 2 months. An 8-week training camp is more than enough for these guys, I think. For all I know, they're already training because they kind of already knew ahead of time before the actual announcement. So they probably already started the training camp. 2 months is more than enough time, I would say. They're going to be ready October 17th here in Las Vegas. So let me know what you guys think. Of course, I do want to hear your opinion. Who do you guys think is going to win? How that fight's going to go down? Is was Teofimo kind of being a bit of a diva with holding off for more money? Ultimately, he got what he wanted, right? But I mean, I always want to hear what you guys' opinions are about that fight, and how it's going to go down. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to me ramble there. I'm going to move on over to this to my laptop here. The fight weekend. Oh, you know what? Before I get to the schedule for this weekend, don't forget, check out freshcleantees.com. Make sure to use the code Miggs15 at checkout, and get yourself 15% off of your total. Or if you may be so inclined, feel free to check out blenders.com and use the code Miggs16 and get 16% off of your total. Help support the channel if you will, please, you guys.
I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious.
Yeah, Kip, I guess you can say it is getting pretty serious. All right, so moving on to this weekend's fight schedule. We're going to start first with Friday the 21st, August 21st. We actually have a Bellator on DAZN. I have my schedule here to my right. It's going to be on DAZN or the Paramount Network. Bellator 244, Ryan Bader taking on Vadim Nemkov. It's going to be a 5-round light heavyweight championship. So it's going to be for Ryan Bader's light heavyweight title. That's going to be on Friday the 21st. Moving on to Saturday. Saturday, there's a ton of fucking fights. As a matter of fact, last Saturday, there's a lot of fights. This Saturday, there's going to be quite a few as well. We'll start first with, let's see here, ESPN Plus is going to be Alader Alvarez taking on Joe Smith Jr. It's going to be their light heavyweight. It's going to be 12 rounds. That will be on ESPN Plus. Then on Fox or Fox Deportes, we have Sean Porter taking on Sebastian Formella. That is going to be a 12-round fight. WBC and IBF title eliminator. That's going to be this weekend. Those two titles are the ones that Errol Spence currently holds. That's going to be on Fox and Fox Deportes. Then on DAZN, we have Dillian White defending his WBC or his interim WBC heavyweight championship against Alexander Povetkin. That's going to be in Eddie Hearn's backyard. If you guys have seen any of those fights, it looks pretty cool actually to see in his, like, I swear this fucker had to have thrown raves back in the day, you know, in his house, because that house looks killer as shit. And that little, like, I don't know, I shouldn't say little, that setup that he's got in his backyard for these fight camp fights, it looks pretty sick. It's kind of cool. And this is probably the best fight on this whole series of fight camp fights. Alexander Povetkin taking on Dillian White for Dillian White's interim WBC heavyweight championship. That will be on DAZN as well. And we have UFC on Saturday as well. We have UFC Fight Night. Frankie Edgar taking on Pedro Munoz. That's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Frankie Edgar's debut at bantamweight, which in the MMA is 135 pounds. It is going to be a 5-round fight. About those fights, for those of you who don't know, when you're on the main event at the UFC, you're gonna have 5-round fights, even if it isn't a championship fight, because those are usually 5-round fights are for championship fights. Anyway, so that's going to be on Saturday. That will be on ESPN, and the prelims are going to be on ESPN Plus. So yeah, guys, to wrap things up, I'm not make this video any longer. That's this weekend's fight schedule. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at FightFiendMiggs. Usually, the days of the fight, I post the fight schedule, like the times and everything, like, you know, Pacific time, Eastern time, Standard time, and you guys can take a look there. So make sure to follow me on Instagram. Of course, here also, make sure to follow, like, subscribe, all that good shit here on YouTube, of course. And of course, as always, comment to your heart's desire, because I do want to hear what you guys have to say. All right, not to make this video any longer, thank you guys for you know, taking the time to stop by and watch my video as always. Miggs, one more time, who do you want to thank?
Everyone!
Exactly. Thank you guys one more time for watching. You have yourselves a good night, good day, good morning, wherever the fuck you happen to be at. I will see you guys next week. Peace.